What's going on, everybody? We are doing something new today. We're doing pop-up drafts. So these will be sporadic throughout the summer, and there'll be a little bit more of the laid-back streams like the Sunday ones. So let's go ahead and let's just get right into it. So I figured there's sometimes we want to do drafts without anything scheduled. We don't really know how to plan that out. And what better way than to just do these little impromptu drafts where we can draft whatever we want. We can do Best Ball Mania. We can draft on DraftKings. We can do higher stakes. We can do lower stakes. It can be when a tournament like the Golden drops yesterday. We can do an impromptu Golden draft and be ready for it. So occasionally you'll see these pop-up drafts, and it won't just be myself. It'll probably be myself or Eric, or it could be Trev, it could be Silas, it could be any of the people that do some of the work over here at Spike Week, or multiple of us. And thought it would be a little fun to just get rolling with it tonight and do a Best Ball Mania draft real quick. Over the weekend, we do have the normal Sunday Sicko show where we draft at 10 a.m. in the morning. We'll be doing a DraftKings $10 that day, but I think it's been a while since I've done a Best Ball Mania. Hell, it might have been last Sunday. Nobody remembers. Everything's a blur. Time is a flat circle, all of that jazz. So why don't we just get right into doing a Best Ball Mania draft. And again, just going to be a little bit more of the hanging out, laid back atmosphere of these drafts. And yeah, I'm excited. I wanted to do a Best Ball Mania draft anyways. We need 3 people for it currently. And this will be those streams that we just sort of hang back, listen to some music, do some drafts, talk some strategy, hang out, keep it really, really chill. Turn that down to there. All right, just one more person. I cannot wait to get the 10th overall pick yet again on one of these live drafts. Because God forbid we get a top 2 pick ever on one of the streams. And we get 3. Even more of a tease, I feel like. We do see 2 red badges in front of us. This is looking like a pretty badge-heavy draft for the most part. So probably not going to get Jamar Chase, but stranger things have happened. We've seen stranger things happen. All right. You look at my percentages in Best Ball Mania. We have gotten the 1 spot a few times. I think I'm about 20 drafts deep, 21 drafts deep. So we got Justin Jefferson 15% of the time. I believe this is 20 drafts deep. This is like my 21st, possibly my 22nd. I didn't upload my last draft, but these are relatively accurate. Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't notice that Tyreek Hill had leapfrogged Christian McCaffrey as the 3rd overall pick. Do we want to just go Tyreek? I think we've done a couple Cooper Kupp teams on stream. We'll do Tyreek in the 3 spot. We were so close to getting Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson for one of those fun builds. But alas, we will take Mr. Tyreek Hill. Very interesting to see the Christian McCaffrey stuff, because I don't even think people are down on McCaffrey. I think it's just this whole wide receiver push-up thing. If you take McCaffrey, you really feel behind the 8 ball in that aspect. Anybody got anything fun going on for a Friday night? I know Friday night's probably not the ideal night, Father's Day weekend, to be doing these streams, but we are test running. We are test running the pop-up streams. We did a golden pop-up stream yesterday, and that's what kind of gave me the idea to do more of these throughout the off season, maybe once or twice a week if possible. And we got real wild in that one yesterday. We went with a double elite quarterback build in that, and I almost just want to do it again, only because people get so angry. People were so mad about the double elite quarterback build. I loved it. It shows you how much it's just not getting done. And it's probably minus EV overall. Clearly, the opportunity cost is so great, but I thought it was fun to do, to be perfectly honest. All right, what do we see going on here? Anything out of line? I had a fun start today on DK. I was doing the $10. And I think I was drafting from the 7 spot, maybe the 4 spot. And no, I had to have been probably the 6 or the 7 spot. And I got Travis Kelce and Bijan fell to me. So I got a Kelce Bijan team earlier, which was interesting, a little different. Probably be my only Travis Kelce Bijan team for the whole offseason, but maybe not. Stranger things have happened for sure. Do we see Yertle the Terp go with the Mahomes Kelce stack? That is going to be the question. I have a feeling that Josh Allen is not going to get drafted here. I don't think we see the Josh Allen. So Stephon Diggs drafter takes Devonta Smith. Waddle goes up at the 14th overall pick. We'll cycle through some other music. Oh, thanks, Ian. Ian. Said double elite build turned out good. I had you clearly as a top 3 team, likely to advance in playoffs, and solid playoff game stacks and uniqueness. Yeah, I just wanted to do something different. It's a winner-take-all tournament. Like, you make $0 on that tournament for coming in second place. You might as well have some fun with it. Build out a little bit differently. We are about to be on the clock. We see Olave go. We got Tyreek. I want to do a Tyreek Pollard team here. And I want to see... I think we get an advantage if we wanted to go elite QB here by having just 2 different drafters behind us. If we wanted to go elite, one of them could still fall to us. Well, one of them will fall to us. It's just a matter of which one, if not multiple. That leaves us open for so many other things too here. So we get Pollard, we get Tyreek. Did you see Hurts go right after us? Leaves D money on the clock. Need to adjust my overlay again. See D Henry go to D money, which kind of makes me think he is going to take Mahomes. Oh, he does not take Mahomes. We see Andrews go, which was probably going to be my backup pick here. I think we're going to take Mahomes though. 3rd round. Pollard, Tyreek, Mahomes. Okay, so Stevenson goes, and we're going to go Mahomes. Now we're going to try to build multiple game stacks here off of hopefully these 3 games. was going to go Mark Andrews. I am curious. I do want to look up, throw the draft board up. Let's see what percentage Tyreek Hill is what Tyreek Hill is going with Mark Andrews is what I'm trying to say out loud. So let me look it up. Let's see. So Mark Andrews. See if I can find it. It's not a high percentage, so it's not popping right up for the Tyreek Hill stuff, which probably feels wrong. Like Lamar and Tyreek are 12%. Interesting. I'll find that exact number. Okay, I found it. So they're projecting 8%, which doesn't, I mean, that's the ownership projection as of right now. So if it's 8%, that's like a smash to do, is to grab Tyreek, whoever in the second, and then come back with Mark Andrews for that game stack would be pretty ideal if it sticks around 8%. These are the things I need to be looking up a little bit more as I'm drafting, because my head was Tyreek, people must be grabbing Andrews. But maybe people just aren't thinking about that immediately. All right, anything interesting going on in this third round while I was looking up stuff? Keenan Allen, I see Christian Watson getting bumped up to this third round area. Let's take a look at the board real quick. See, like Debo Lamar is still there. Lamar just goes. The Najee D-Hop. So it feels like this fifth round, this former like fifth round of wide receivers has been moving up. It's a steep price for Watson. Yeah, it seems pretty high on Christian Watson. Keenan Allen, third round. Feels like that whole tier, like, because I like consider that basically Amari Cooper to, let's kind of see what we got here. Amari Cooper to Christian Kirk, sort of like one giant tier. A lot of them were going fifth round before. Seems like they're all getting bumped up to fourth round. So a lot of uncertainty. And if this is the case, a misstep for me in early BBM drafts was probably reaching for some of that tier in the fourth round to get another one, to get some unique stacks or unique combos rather. So that way you could get more, like just say the two next to each other, McLaurin, Judy. Maybe if we're drafting even where we're at or a little before, grabbing one of those. David saying, agreed, was just about to say, why take Watson the third when you can wait for Drake London later? Yeah. The question is, who do you take in his place, right? Because if you're going wide receiver, you're in that range, but at running back, we're looking at, you know, I guess Travis Etienne I like a little bit. I'm not real big on Jahmyr Gibbs here. Obviously, we don't like Najee Harris. Sorry, Felix. So that tier, like that whole third that mid third to fourth round is just sort of all kind of gross right now, unless you're like building off your quarterback with like a Burrow or something like that. So I told you, GA, I am going to be the QB guy. I will be the QB drafter for these streamers. Everyone's scared to do it. We'll do it. We really want a Drake London there. I think I just got to go DJ Moore here. So I've been thinking about the elite quarterbacks from the DraftKings perspective, and I think that any strategy you talk about, you can do pros and cons for everything, right? So like we can poke holes in any strategy, any type of draft, anything at all, really. I can throw you a set of numbers to make, I don't know, let's say Christian Kirk seemed like the number one receiver in the league last year. If I withhold some information, right? Let's grab Dobbins. Let's do a Hill Dobbins stack here. But when I was thinking about it from a perspective for underdogs, specifically for Best Ball Mania, no other tournaments, because Best Ball Mania is the only one that's doing regular season stuff. We're not chasing regular season money, but we are aware it's there, right? Like a third of the prize pool is there. So when we're talking about weeks 1 to 14, we're just going to have more ceiling games with the elite quarterbacks, and you can say that about any position, I'm aware. But the value of the elite quarterbacks on a game-to-game basis is just so much higher than any other position. Like, you're generally outscoring people that take the 6th quarterback or worse by 5 points probably every week. So you're accumulating a higher score, and obviously your advance rates are higher. That's not what I'm just talking about here. What I'm talking about is the regular season prize pool. So I just think it gives you more outs to that. Personally, is it a big deal? No, it's just like another small little thing that we can sort of think about. And in that spot where we took Mahomes, who do we like better than Mahomes? Like, we could have done like a double build, double elite running back build with Pollard to Ramondre, right? Oh, well, actually, Ramondre is already gone, so we could have done it with Breece Hall if we wanted to. And then we fall to that DK Metcalf range where he's sort of like his own tier. I'm not like super in love with DK Metcalf in the 3rd round. And then we're doing Amari Cooper, Josh Jacobs, Calvin Ridley. So you used to get a little bit better of a selection in this 3rd round up to like the 5th or 6th pick. That's sort of tightening up a little bit positionally anyways. So that's just the stuff that I was galaxy braining while sitting around by myself. See a QB run in the 5th round here with Burrow, Herbert, and Trevor Lawrence going. Lawrence going unstacked, Herbert going unstacked, Burrow going unstacked, Hurts going unstacked, Fields going unstacked. Theoretically, we are unstacked with Mahomes, but we know that that's all rectifiable later. Love Stars is drafting loads of Lamar stacks. Don't hate it. What else do we have? Let's go with this song. Ooh, glad you bring this up, Love Stars. Says that they're drafting loads of Lamar stacks. very similar to what we're doing in our $500 slow draft, which we'll be recording the next 2 picks tonight. So that will come out either tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, which are the 9th and 10th picks, I think. So excited to do that. David saying, so far, round 3 has been about grabbing RB value for me. Feels like Jacobs, Ramondre, Henry are there often. Yeah, so I grab a lot of Ramondre in that area. I'm hard fading Josh Jacobs personally this year. 2nd round, 3rd round, like early 3rd round, Jacobs is not something I'm super into. And it's not a player take because when he was 8th round last year, I had quite a bit of Josh Jacobs. I thought it was a steal there. And Derrick Henry, I'm on the fence about. So I'm grabbing Henry probably at a decent clip. I don't remember what my exact percentage was that showed up, but I am grabbing him somewhat. Cam Akers goes right behind Kenneth Walker. You see Kyle Pitts go. I think with this build, we're probably not grabbing the last elite tight end with Goddard, but maybe. We'll see what happens when we get there. See Deontay Johnson, Mike Evans. I need to have this Jordan Addison discussion in more depth with somebody. Kadarius Toney goes before us, which is fine. I don't care too much about not getting Toney. Let's grab. Do we want to go lock? Let's go Lockett. See if another one of these receivers falls back to us. I'm okay with drafting Tyler Lockett. See Pickens go right behind. Damian Pierce went before us. So this leaves the do we want to take Addison or Jahan Dotson situation. Dome for Addison. Maybe that's just the tiebreaker for Addison and Dotson, right? Just the week 16 and 17 matchups are much better for Jordan Addison, even though I really like Jahan Dotson. We'll grab Addison. Yeah, so David brings up, this is like the most popular build that I'm personally doing. Says it feels like a tight punt end build we're working on here. Since we're only going to need 2 QBs, we can go to 3 tight ends without sacrificing RB and wide receiver depth. Exactly. That third, if not much, changes probably the key to this season. RB value, early QBs or wide receivers after DK has Heroes season. Sorry, I'm not following what you're specifically trying to say with that comment. What else do I have for music here? Well, let's go ahead and read off our team real quick. So we have Mahomes at QB. We have Tony Pollard, J.K. Dobbins at running back. We have Tyreek, DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett, Jordan Addison. So our only playoff stack right now is J.K. Dobbins with Tyreek Hill. Luckily, the draft hacker shows that for us. But still very early in the draft. We can still obviously make a bunch of things happen, which is what we plan to do.
3, 2, 1, liftoff.
Where are you guys on Darren Waller? Because it seems like people are taking a pretty hardline stand one way or the other on Darren Waller. And I guess because I have Pitts and Goddard currently as a tier above him significantly, and they're going so close to each other, I'm just not grabbing Darren Waller. That could be a gigantic leak for sure. Might be something I need to balance out a little bit more. David's out. Love Stars is taking him past ADP in discuss, but how far past ADP? Because when we're going to have this discussion at some point, like in depth, me and Bime 4, because me and him are kind of on the same page with this particular thing. Past ADP, where does that become significant? And I know each round is probably different, but with Waller, where is the significance past ADP? And I'm not knocking you. I'm just like a legitimate question that we're trying to figure out. So if he's at 80, like, I don't know if that's his current ADP, but let's just say he's currently 80 for an ADP. Does 83 matter? Does it matter at 95? It is an average draft position, which means that people are getting him past that spot. Some are taking him before. Is it half a round? Is it a full round? Kemi Njoku or Pat Phil 10 to 20 picks later. Phil Hellmuth, a poker player that I will always owe a debt of gratitude. He did me a gigantic favor a couple years back, so whatever antics we see from him whenever, I will never say a disparaging word about the real Phil Hellmuth. Very, very good guy, despite what he might want you to believe occasionally. Yeah, this is kind of the point. Oh shit, are we timing out here? I don't know what's going on. Why does it say we're at 0? There's no way. There's no way we're timing out right now. What is happening? Oh my god, what happened here? God damn it. Alright. Just ruined my entire build here. What a nightmare. Well, there's a Javonte Williams share that we wouldn't have relatively otherwise. Definitely wanted a wide receiver here, but we're going to grab Njoku to go with Javonte Williams, which was an auto draft somehow because Underdog messed up, timed out weirdly. Hate to see it. So right now our team is Patrick Mahomes, Tony Pollard, J.K. Dobbins, Javonte Williams, Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett, Jordan Addison, David Njoku. We will make it work. Uncle Andy saying maybe it was divine intervention and this wins you the whole thing. I hope so. We hope so that Javonte Williams comes in late in the season. I don't think you're going to see him early. I suppose if he's your third running back behind Pollard and Dobbins, that's ideal. You can still add a couple more running backs to help us in the beginning of the season. I hope Javonte comes on late. I'm pretty out on Javonte. That injury seems very, very scary. I was listening to some doctors talk about the Javonte injury on the 444 podcast this week. And basically, both doctors that were talking about it are all in on Breece Hall. They think that he's going to be more than fine this year. very much more skeptical with what could happen with Javonte Williams over the season, but they also believe that there's a chance that he is back to normal by the fantasy playoffs. So they were very non-committal, and rightfully so, on what they think is going to definitely happen, but they're much more hesitant with his diagnosis, which is fair because it was like a whole tear. Like he ripped everything up. So, but if we're going to take a Javonte Williams share, that's how we're going to do it. Also, if you're looking for a refreshing summer drink, you cannot go along with the strawberry lemonade refresher from Dunkin' Donuts. Free plug. Anthony Richardson goes in the 9th, as well as Dak. Deshaun Watson went here at the 87th pick in the 8th round. Sky Moore going in the 10th. Ooh. Should have just taken Odell Beckham, and that way we had 2 players with 2 knees total. So something we could have done. Gonna have to add even more music to this. I added 5 songs, and they just go through them so fast. Damian Harris go in the 10th, right after Daniel Jones. This 9 spot double taps quarterback with Dak and Daniel Jones. They do have CD. Tua goes to the Justin Herbert guy, who now has unstacked Tua and unstacked Justin Herbert, so that's fun. All right, we're going to be coming up on the clock here. All right, so I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do here. So we're going to lock up Geno, be done with QB. That's the first play here. That Javonte pick really screwed this build up from what I really wanted to do. But it's okay. We live, we learn. We auto pick. I've been watching Black Mirror. That's like my Black Mirror fear, where I'm just sitting here and I just get auto picked every pick, even though I'm trying to take my players. And it just keeps happening. We just keep getting auto picked. They can make a specific Black Mirror episode out of that. Maybe I could make a short video doing that. All right, we're going to go down a little bit. We're going to grab Rashee Rice on this team. Carlos saying that he forgot Black Mirror dropped. That series is so good. I love Black Mirror. I've watched the first 3 episodes so far. I've liked all 3. I've personally loved 2 of them. One of them that I loved, which is the second episode. I'm not going to say anything about any of them. But I loved the second episode, but I have seen that be a very divisive one. So for the new season. So if you're into Black Mirror, they're all very different. All 3 of the episodes so far have been very, very different. So I think I have 2 or 3 more to watch. Actually doing special content on my other channel on Hometown Ghost Stories. We have a Patreon over there, and one of the things we're going to be doing for a Patreon exclusive is just kind of talking about each episode. Oh yeah, there are every single episode I have known at least 2 of the actors or actresses, and it is a lot of big names. There are some big names. There are some people that have been known for years that I would say were bigger 20 years ago, but are still really well known. I don't think saying who's in them spoils anything. So Josh Hartnett is in one. Selma Hayek's in an episode. Aaron Paul is in an episode. All of the ones that I've seen so far. Podrick from Game of Thrones is in an episode. I think his name's John Hannah is in an episode as well. John Hannah is a phenomenal actor. He was the villain in the first season of Spartacus, if you guys watch that show. And frankly, that series was very good, but John Hannah was an amazing villain. Kirk Cousins dropped 30 spots, huh? Well, if we had known that was going to happen, we would have pushed this Geno pick, right? My assumption was that this 1 spot was going to take Kirk Cousins. Maybe they just figured out that they could push it. Good for them. It worked out well for them, is what we will say. Starting to debate a few things on what I might want to do with this team. We do see Cousins go right before us. Not that we were going to take him with this build, obviously. I'm going to grab Warren. So we do have a Pittsburgh, Seattle, and Miami, Baltimore stack right now. Ugh. I might flip this build, and I might do something different. I'm gonna flip this build. I'm going to do what I did not plan to do in the offset based on this Javonte Williams pick. So I'm gonna grab Irv Smith We're going to make this a 2 tight end build and a 2 QB build. And we're going to do something a little bit different than I would normally do here. The plan was originally to punt tight end, but I'm changing that with the mistake that happened. So our running backs right now are Pollard, Dobbins, Javonte Williams, Jalen Warren. I weirdly think that we can still get away with 5 RBs on this team, obviously, by having Dobbins and Pollard. Carlos is in this draft. He grabbed Kirk Cousins. Oh, he's the Burrow team. Grabbed Boyd, was going to try to do the double stack with Irv, ends up getting Kirk and stacking with Osborne. And to be fair, Irv Smith would normally not be my pick there, so you would have normally been able to get that. But I've decided to flip this build just a tad. Let me see. We're not drafting till 8. We might, you know what we might do? I might just hop into a DK draft after this. Because why not? Just fire 2 drafts on 2 different sites. We'll see. While we're waiting, let me see if I can add some more music here. What else do I have? You're welcome, Carlos. That is what I'm here for, to help you make your decisions. So. What else do I have for music? Just keep adding music from Jesse. I don't know if I can let you guys hear that one yet. That is a special one. We got that. We got Octane in here, right? Oh, we don't have Octane in here. Let's drop Octane. All right, just a few more songs. I know I have even more. If I go into... Sorry guys, I'm just getting our channel ready by adding more and more music. Alright, we are going to be on the clock here. Oh, we were going to grab Singletary there. A falling Jalen Hyatt might be the play here. Grab Jalen Hyatt. Anything else make more sense? Take Hyatt. I really wanted Singletary because I was fine with any of these wideouts here. Right now we're at a 2-4-6-2 build. We're done at QB. We're done at tight end. Back on the clock in a second here. Thin, very thin, but we're going to grab Chase Brown to add to this Kansas City stack, and I think we're done at running back as well. It is probably going to be the thinnest running back room I've drafted. Maybe not. We're just going to probably power through wide out for the rest of this draft. I like this song, but I do not know if I like drafting with it. Might be a little too intense for drafting. All right, let's go back to the draft board here. See Tyquan go after us. Donta Foreman was a consideration over Chase Brown. Probably would have been a better overall pick, to be completely honest. See Jawan Johnson, Wandall, Lego. Brock Purdy's going in the 15th round here. Yeah, we get put into a super badge heavy draft here, huh? Too bad that we don't really draft in September, October. I have so much good spooky music that we could have played. Ty Chandler getting bumped up to the 15th round. So we're starting to see these Minnesota backs go a bit higher, huh? Anyone doing anything good for the weekend or Father's Day? Any big plans? Or are you just coming to watch the 10 a.m. Spike Week stream and watch me draft another $10 DK draft? Which is what I think every father wants, is to watch me draft a team on stream. There it is. Carlos knows. we do the 10 a.m. Sunday Spike Week streams. The Sunday Sicko stream, if you will. Sorry, I really blew not doing a Dusty Rhodes impersonation there. That was a mistake for me, and I apologize. Next time we will do a Dusty Rhodes impersonation. We see Mechie, Terrace Marshall go. Terrace Marshall on the 16th is interesting. Based on just everything that's going on in that Carolina offense. I mean, we don't like Thielen, but he's there. DJ Chark, Hayden Hurst. So we're going down to the 4th pass catching option, maybe 5th. I mean, we are throwing darts at this point. Let's also be fair there. In the famous words of my boss, David Kitchen, we just don't know. We just don't know. I'm pretty sure I know that Carolina is going to be terrible, but theoretically, we just don't know. This is probably better for drafting. I want to go into bat volume. We're going to be on the clock here in one moment. Uno momento. So let's look through some of these wideouts here. Not a lot that I love too much. So let's grab Josh Downs. That's a maybe he's going to be something pick. Your name throws me off, Carlos, because I have a friend with a very similar last name named Carlos, and I just read his last name when I see yours. Hardman goes. Oh my God. We were grabbing Richie James here. I should have grabbed him first. I knew someone was going to grab him. You gotta be kidding me. Let it happen. We'll grab Justin Ross and cry about it. Well, that makes me think that line of scrimmage is in watching, or he just knows based on my team that I was going to Richie James. And that was a gigantic mistake from me. We should, if we know we want Richie James amongst like Darius Slayton, Robert Woods, Tim Patrick, Marvin Jones, etc., just freaking grab them. There's 4 picks in between. Not a big deal. We pushed him to get Josh Downs, which is like, okay. I think we'd be fine if we didn't get Josh Downs on this team. So that was me getting greedy. Another little mini quarterback run here in the 17th with Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Sam Howell. Yeah, I think I'm going to stay on. I'm going to do a DK draft. That's going to be my game plan. We might as well. And we'll just have to switch our brain from Underdog to DK and try to make less mistakes than we made in this draft. Overall, not a terrible draft. The auto pick just completely flipped what we were doing on the build. Try to push players that we shouldn't have tried to push. You know, you live, you learn. We see Jimmy Garoppolo go on that little running back tier in the 17th round. I mean, quarterback run in the 17th round. Words, right? All right. I think I might. Not a lot of people in here. I might. I'm going to give you a little taste of something that Jesse made that
legendary sickos. These people are sick.
There's a little taste of that for joining a Friday night stream. Pierre Strong goes in the 18th. Someone I need to start drafting a bit more of as well is Pierre Strong. Fournette falling to the 18th. Fournette is a guy I'm drafting. I do think that some of these older running backs are going to be asked out and not get a job. But I do think Leonard Fournette's going to sign somewhere. All right, we're on the clock. Let's see. What makes the most sense? All right, do we want to do Puka or do we want to do Marvin Jones? We're going to do Marvin Jones. Won't be drafting him much this season. He makes a lot of sense on this team, so let's just do it. Week 15 and 16 correlations. Let's look at our playoff. So our big stack is Cincinnati at Kansas City. Shocker, shocker. Patrick Mahomes, Rashee Rice, Justin Ross with Chase Brown and Irv Smith as the comebacks on that. Pittsburgh at Seattle. We got Geno stacked with Tyler Lockett with Jalen Warren coming back. Detroit at Dallas. Tony Pollard with Marvin Jones. Miami at Baltimore, J.K. Dobbins, Tyreek Hill. Let's run through the team. Mahomes and Geno Smith at QB. Tony Pollard, J.K. Dobbins, Javonte Williams, Jalen Warren, Chase Brown. Wide receivers, Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett, Jordan Addison, Rashee Rice, Jalen Hyatt, Josh Downs, Justin Ross, Marvin Jones Jr. Tight ends are David Njoku and Irv Smith. So that is our Underdog team. I will go over somebody's team if they want real quick. I think Carlos might be the only one in here. If you want to, we can roll and look at it very, very quickly. Which this is you. So you went Burrow and Cousins for QBs, Breece Hall, Dameon Pierce, Jerick McKinnon, Devin Singletary, Jeff Wilson, Zach Moss. So Breece Hall relatively early, Dameon Pierce serving those middle rounds, and then grab some of the other later guys that I do like. Cooper Kupp, Chris Olave, Drake London, Jahan Dotson, Tyler Boyd, Jacoby Myers, KJ Osborne, Tyquan Thornton. Pretty fun receiver room. And then Evan Ingram, Dawson Knox. So your stacks are slightly thin with your quarterbacks, but it is what it is sometimes. You get the Tyler Boyd stack. You also get KJ Osborne with Kirk Cousins. And we are going to move over to DraftKings. And we're just going to fire a DraftKings draft. Because why not? And it looks like we only need 3 for this draft. God, if I was smart, I would have entered this like as the 18th round began, since they have the 2-minute little intro on it. But we live, we learn. Yes. Bouncing between 2 different sites, not something we've done frequently. I'm sure we've done it in the past, but we'll do it again here. Perhaps I should have eaten dinner. Did not do that. Sometimes we forget to eat. Oh man, I don't know if you guys, if anyone knows anyone with a husky or some form of husky, but my dog is mostly husky, and he is blowing his coat right now, and it is a travesty. We need 1 more person for this draft. I have to vacuum twice a day. I was foolish and got black carpets before I got a dog. Black carpets with the husky hair does not go well, to be perfectly honest. Oh baby, are we ready to draft the Justin Jefferson team? And it looks like we haven't got the 101 in this draft. It actually might be inaccurate. I think I drafted last night and finally got a 101, but we get another one. We're going to draft the Justin Jefferson team and see what we can build. Should be interesting. Anyone else in this draft with us? This is my favorite song to stream to. I need more of these. We need to yell at Jesse to give us more of these for streaming. All right, 33 seconds. I can't even like tease calibrating for Jamar Chase since we've already drafted him somewhat. I keep forgetting to change this too. Might try to change my settings on this after we make our pick. All right, let's grab Justin Jefferson. Let me see if I can update my settings. All right, let's go down to DraftKings. Not sure if this is going to work, but we shall see. Just going to do a little refresh here. Well, it did what I wanted it to do for some of it. All right. What did I unclick? Okay, there's my specific tournament that I'm missing. Weeks 15, 16, 17. All right, beautiful. That should do it. Now we should have what we want. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So on my overlay right now, I'm showing my tournament percentage for each player, and then the ownership I've drafted them with the first, second, and third round selections. So if we go down to find somebody I've drafted. Who have I drafted with? Oh, we haven't drafted anyone with Justin Jefferson in this tournament because we haven't gotten Justin Jefferson in this tournament, so it's not going to show anything. So it's going to be a 0 for now. Duh. Duh, duh, duh. All right, now we can show the draft board. Sorry, everybody. Should have had that up. Sometimes it's like we're new to streaming, but we're not. So we see Jefferson, Chase, McCaffrey, Kelsey, Cup, Hill go, Bijan before Eckler, AJ Brown, Diggs, Amon-Ra, CD, which is generally the first 12, maybe mix Adams in there somewhat. Hurts goes early in the second here with the Amon-Ra St. Brown drafter. Will the Eckler drafter go with another running back is the question right now. He times out and grabs Barkley, so we get an Eckler-Barkley start. Trying to recreate Pat Kerrane's winning Best Ball Mania team. They are 2 for 2 so far. And then we see the Bijan drafter go with a second running back with Derrick Henry. Hill drafter is going with, drumroll, will they grab Waddle? No, because Waddle has been taken. They grab Mahomes, sniping it from the Kelsey drafter. Cooper Kupp drafter is up. And Cooper Kupp grabs the Nick Chubb comeback. Kelsey grabs Josh Allen. So the 3 elites are off the board at this point. Things work a little bit drifting on DK. That is not surprising. McCaffrey. So everyone that went running back in the first round grabs a second running back. They grab Pollard. Will Jamar Chase grab T. Higgins here to try to set up that Bengals double? They do not. They grab Devonta Smith. Oh, we can get a third round Jonathan Taylor, or we can go T. Higgins and Chris Olave. Let's grab Higgins. Let's grab Olave. Let's go full wide receiver on this one. The 2 spot also goes with 3 wideouts. They get Chase, Devonta Smith, and DK Metcalf. We have Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Chris Olave. So now I can show you that. So if you look at Burrow, We have 14% of our teams in this tournament right now that have T. Higgins and Joe Burrow. Which is probably one. Ramondre is up there too. So it's just things we probably won't see. I can't imagine we're going to get Joe Burrow falling to us. I don't even think that the Jamar Chase guy is going to get Joe Burrow, to be perfectly frank. The 3 spot goes McCaffrey, Pollard, Jonathan Taylor. So they get 3 elite RBs here. It's going to be interesting to see how this build works out. We also see the 7 hole go 3 RBs with Robinson, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall. So very specific builds going on here. I mean, both of the 3 RB builds get solid RBs. It's going to see how much they sacrifice wide receiver value to do so going forward on this. Ten spot is also firing all wideouts with Diggs, Garrett Wilson, Keenan Allen. The 11 is setting up a Lion stack with Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs. And the 12 spot goes all wideouts. They have Lamb, Devonta Adams, Debo, and Amari Cooper. So some real specific builds going on in this tournament so far from a number of different spots. We see 3 teams. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 teams that have not taken a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds at all. 2 with 3 running backs, 1 with a elite tight end, elite quarterback, and Josh Jacobs build. We'll be on the clock soon here. We do see Burrow go to the unstacked team as predicted. Actually an auto drafter, of course. Gotta love it. Not that we would have got Burrow. I can't imagine that the guy in the 2 hole was going to let us get Joe Burrow. Which is fine. Was never an expectation anyways. We do see that the Bijan Henry Hall team gets DJ Moore in the 4th round as their first wide receiver. The next 2 non-wide receiver teams are up. The first one is that Kelsey Allen, Josh Jacobs team. They grab another running back. They grab Kenneth Walker to pair with Jacobs. And interesting build. Don't hate it at all. If you're going to do something like this, you might as well fortify yourself at every position and then just absolutely crush wide receivers for a long range of the draft. I think the problem is a lot of people just don't do that. We see Mixon go before us. So what we're going to do is I was looking at Christian Watson here. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Mike Williams. And I'm going to grab Herbert as well to get that stack. So we go with the 4 wide receivers followed by Justin Herbert, stacked with Mike Williams. Rob's in here. Fake Rob. And he said he went Bijan and Jonathan Taylor earlier. That's never his start. Is that what I did earlier? I think that's what I mentioned doing earlier as well. I think I did Bijan Taylor. Was a start that I got as well. So maybe it's falling a bit more clearly. Jonathan Taylor fell to the third round here to go with McCaffrey, Pollard, Jonathan Taylor start. They came back and grabbed Jerry Jeudy, but then they get elite tight end as well and go George Kittle. When am I going to Vegas? I fly out on the 4th of July. So my plane takes off on the 4th of July. I'll be out there. And I will be playing the main event of the World Series of Poker either the 5th or the 6th. I'm going to fly out there, take the day, kind of relax, and see how I feel when I wake up on the 5th, if I'm ready to go, or if I want to give myself an extra day to adjust. Why did JT drop so much? I don't know. I mean, I think this is a room that's doing some very specific builds, it looks like. And I think that might have led to it. I don't know why you'd go Derrick Henry over JT here, but to each their own. People went Chubb and Pollard over JT as well, which, you know, player takes, player preferences, but 2 of them were 3 RB builds. This guy was auto drafting at some point, so I don't think it was. Although, if he was auto drafting, he should have probably taken Taylor over Barkley. So maybe that happened at another point, or he had him queued, not expecting to get back. So our team right now from the one hole is Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Chris Olave, Mike Williams, and Justin Herbert to start. Rob saying if I win the main event of the World Series, he gets dibs on my best ball winnings. I'm not sure that's in the contract, but we'll have to check with our legal team to see if that is an actual situation. All right, is anything interesting happening here? So shout out to the 7 hole for now. They are doing what you're supposed to do at the moment if you start with the 3 RB build. They go Bijan, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, and they come right back with 3 wideouts with DJ Moore, Drake London, Mike Evans, which is pretty solid. Like, that is, if you're going to start the 3 RBs, this is how you do it. It's just usually not what I see happen when people start 3 RBs. But if they keep grabbing wide receivers and mixing in some other positions, they're doing it exactly right, in my opinion. We see the 3 hole. It'll be interesting to see what they do with their next 2 picks. They went 3 RBs, a wide receiver. They went elite tight end with George Kittle. So I think they probably have to double tap wideout coming up. And they grab Addison for their first of those 2 picks. We're coming back on the clock here. I'm not fully in love with any of these RBs. We might build. We might go elite tight end here. Let's grab Deontay Johnson first. I guess Rashad White would be my running back if I wanted to go RB. Let's tap Rashad White. I don't grab him a lot. Let's just take a quick detour to RB here. So the team currently is Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Chris Olave, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert, Deontay Johnson, Rashad White as our first RB. Two-hole is a bit interesting. They go Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, DK Metcalf. So they start with an all-yellow build with wide receivers. They switch to green and go with some running backs with Joe Mixon, Alexander Madison, Dalvin Cook, and then come back to wide receiver with George Pickens. So pretty interesting strategy going on here. The 3 spot that had that McCaffrey, Pollard, Jonathan Taylor build went Jerry Jeudy after that, but grabbed George Kittle for the elite tight end, goes Jordan Addison, but then comes back and grabs a second tight end with Darren Waller. I just don't know if I would do that particular build personally. Definitely different. Won't see it super often, but I think you're just really putting yourself behind at wide receiver at this point. If you were going to grab Waller, for instance, you could have grabbed Hollywood, you could have grabbed Christian Watson, McLaurin, Drake London. All of these guys were there for him in the 5th. So it could have went like Judy. Let's just even say he went McLaurin and then Addison and then had Waller. I don't know. A little tough. Evan Ingram going in the 7th round. So the guy that doesn't even have Trevor Lawrence. Kyle Pitts goes, so this is a big tight end round, which is fine by us. Push all the other players down. Thank you. We'll take it. We will take it. That's so weird because it's just like this is the team that I was really following. Just Ingram's not the way I would have gone with this. I would have obviously gone Pitts if I wanted to go elite tight end. It just seems like a reach on Ingram. And this team was stacking up very nicely. I did like it. I did like it. That Ingram pick really hurts it, in my opinion. All right, let's look at some of these other teams. Take a peek at this 12 hole. Ugh. Rob is saying he doesn't think that Hawkinson, Addison, and Jefferson can all get there. He thinks one of them will bust. I think that's for sure going to happen. The question becomes, which one do we think is going to bust? And I think that they like Hawkinson more than others are letting on. Like, I think that the Minnesota Vikings really do like what they have in Hawkinson. I think Addison will be like fine, but where he's going in these drafts. I mean, I was talking about this with Gretsch the other night. He kind of agrees with me that he likes Quentin Johnson quite a bit more than Jordan Addison. We see Addison go in the 6th, and we see Quentin Johnson go in the 8th. So I'm kind of on board with Gretsch. And it's like one of those players that I don't dislike. I like the upside of Addison. I think he's a fine player, but we're spending decent capital on a guy that we're drafting all of his teammates except for his quarterback above him, right? Because we're drafting Hawkinson before him, we're drafting Justin Jefferson before him, we're drafting Alexander Madison before him. They can't all get there is for sure a thing. No, we do, to your point, we do see Hawkinson falling, and I will start grabbing some Hawkinson. All right, we are going to be coming up on the clock shortly. see where all these guys go. Trying to make some decisions here. We will not auto draft Javonte Williams on this team. That is a promise I am making for myself, for the stream, for America, and quite frankly for the world, that we will not auto draft Javonte Williams right now. We do see Jamison Williams go before us. Coming up next. So my instinct is telling me that we want to take Pacheco for a running back, and we want to grab a wide receiver as well. Let's look at running back real quick, see if there's something we like a little bit better. I think we're going to grab Pacheco here. Then I think we will grab... I do not like Michael Thomas at all. I think I'm going to grab Zay Flowers as well. And I think that's what we're going to do here. So we grab Isaiah Pacheco, we grab Zay Flowers. Now we have a 1-2-6-0 build in this DK Millie draft. I'll look at tight end really fast. All right, so 152. Just wanted to see something. Don't tell anybody. That's what I was looking at. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. See the two-hole double tap quarterback here with Cousins and Geno Smith. They do have Madison for their stack there. Geno, they have the DK Metcalf stack. So they double up at QB there. See Anthony Richardson. They seem to have started a quarterback run here in the 9th round. And something we do need to be cognizant of is the QB runs that go quite earlier in these DraftKings drafts. Right. Sorry guys, I have to text me Madre. You know how moms get. See Gibson going in the 9th round here. He's moving up board. Charbonnet goes as well. We're no longer in any danger of drafting Javonte Williams as he goes through the 12 hole here. So this 12 spot starts 4 wide receivers with CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Amari Cooper. And then they go Aaron Jones, Damian Pierce, go to quarterback with Deshaun Watson, double tap running back again with James Conner and Javonte Williams. And then they get Daniel Jones. Interesting build. I think this is what happens with these teams. I think that it's become sort of a train wreck that's going to be harder to piece together. So they go Bijan, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall. Then they do the smart thing and go 3 wide receivers with DJ Moore, Drake London, Mike Evans. Then they make that reach for Evan Ingram, which feels quite bad. They follow that up by going Dak Prescott, which probably should have grabbed their quarterback the round before, or taking another wide receiver. And then they go 2 running backs with David Montgomery, AJ Dillon. So they're 1-5-3-1. And I think that is sort of potentially an edge for us in these drafts, that if you wanted to start McCaffrey, Pollard, Taylor like this guy did, who's actually doing a better job of it than this other guy that went 3 RBs, our edge is we know how to draft them, where we're going to take those 3 RBs, we're going to take a bunch of wide receivers, weave in and out with a quarterback and a tight end here and there, and kind of push any more running backs we want to the later rounds, because you're so overweight at these positions and they should be producing for you early. So I think being a smart drafter, doing a 3 RB build might be very viable on either site, to be perfectly honest, because we're going to do it better being smarter. All right, we are back on the clock here. I think we can double tap RB here. I want Kendra Miller. We're going to grab Kendra Miller, and we're going to grab Derek Carr. I just don't think he's going to come back in this room. And I want to be done at QB with these 2. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to grab RB, wide receiver. And that's what we're going to build up here. So we've built this New Orleans Tampa game. We have a correlation with Isaiah Pacheco, T. Higgins. We can do some more stuff as well. I normally would have pushed this Derek Carr pick, but DK is a different beast. I also remember 3rd round Antonio Gibson. Gibson might be a DraftKings specific guy for me, much like I like Jahmyr Gibbs better on DK. I think I might just be grabbing Brian Robertson on Underdog, grab Antonio Gibson on DK, get my shares here and there. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. All right. What else is going on here? Let's take a peek at this AJ Brown team. So this AJ Brown, Jalen Waddle team went Lamar to get the Waddle-Lamar Week 17 correlation. They get Christian Kirk, J.K. Dobbins to go on that Lamar stack, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Pitts, Rashad Bateman, Antonio Gibson, Devon Achane, Darnell Mooney. I like the way that team's being built out. That's a fun team. It's a good one. I also am not drafting Michael Thomas. I thought about it for a split second in this draft, and then I just went, nah. Not doing that again. Not doing that again. Mingo in the 12th, eh? That's about right. I know you guys are jealous that I have this New Orleans Tampa stack for week 17. Seeing KJ Osborne go on the 12th here. So we're 2-3-6-0 right now. We're very healthy at wide receiver. Our wide receivers are Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Olave, Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson. I'm pretty sure where I'm going with one of my picks here. I'm not really sure what I want to do with the second. We'll see what's on the board. I think we're just so strong at wide receiver that we're pretty open to do other things. MVS go here at the 2 picks before us, which is fine. We are about to be on the clock. So I want to go Jalen Warren again. And I also want to go Gerald Everett here. And get that double for Justin Herbert. So far, our team is Jefferson, Higgins, Olave, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert, Deontay Johnson, Rashad White, Pacheco, Zay Flowers, Kendre Miller, Derek Carr, Jalen Warren, Gerald Everett. So pretty happy with this team so far. Pretty happy with what we're looking at so far. See Algier go after us. Van Jefferson squeaking up to the 13th round. God, it's just so much easier to put together a team you like on DK, isn't it? Kind of do whatever you want within reason, except take early quarterbacks late. They do not let that happen on DK. Got a Pittsburgh correlation here with Warren and Deontay Johnson. Some one-off stuff. We'll try to set up some more Week 17 stacks here. If that makes sense on these teams. Ooh. Setting up the Bulldog draft as well. We're going to be on the clock on that shortly. So what I can tell so far from this draft is the guy from the 9-hole is a very smart drafter. You know how to set their stuff up quite well. Shout out to Fanny G with a good team. They are the AJ Brown, Waddle, Lamar, Christian Kirk, J.K. Dobbins, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Pitts, Rashad Bateman, Antonio Gibson, Devon Achane, Darnell Mooney, Mingo, Bigsby, Bryce Young team. Lots of correlation there. Very well done to that drafter. Let's take a look at some of the people on board here. What do we want to do? Let's grab Mims for some week 17 correlation here at wideout. And actually, you know what we'll do? We'll grab Mims. And thank God I clicked on who I wanted to draft. We'll also grab Reed and be done with wide receiver in this draft. We almost made a massive mistake again, but we made it. We did it. We did what we wanted to do here. So that adds some playoff correlation here. We get the Green Bay, Minnesota, Justin Jefferson, Jaden Reed. We have Cincinnati, Kansas City with Isaiah Pacheco, T. Higgins. And we have the Chargers, Denver with Herbert, Mike Williams, Marvin Mims, and Gerald Everett. So just like that, we have a bunch of correlated teams. We have two pretty good build stacks here with the Derek Carr, Kendra Millie, Chris Olave, Rashad White bring back, Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Gerald Everett, Marvin Mims bring back. Team is stacking up nicely, a 2-4-8-1 build currently. Let's say that we do not need any more wideouts, probably need a couple more running backs on this team. Maybe a couple more tight ends. I think we can be done at QB with Herbert and Derek Carr. I think that is fine. So I think we're done at wide. I think we're done at quarterback, which allows us to do actually 3 more running backs to go basically 2, 7, 8, 3. Gonna let this song roll again. Gainwell and Schubert, they seem to be tied together for this season, huh? They've been right next to each other in ADP all offseason for the most part. Chuba goes to that Mingo Bryce Young stack. What else do we want to take a look at here? Take a look after our next pick and see if any of these teams recovered. Now we're doing some fun stuff. I see a 3 QB build from the 3-hole minimum with Richardson, Stafford, Purdy, which I think is a fine 3 QB build, personally. All right, Let's come back. Let's take a look at some of these RBs. All right, so we are going to grab Jeff Wilson Jr. here. That goes with our Zay Flowers stack, right? And Chase Brown correlates with our entire playoff schedule. We already have T. Higgins. We can do a Chase Brown situation as well. But let's look at tight ends real quick, make sure there's nothing we want to make sure that we get. I think I'm fine pushing tight end for now. Let's grab Chase Brown, or do we want Fournette? I'm going to grab Fournette. I think there's a chance he goes to the Chargers. So let's do that with that. We'll make this a Leonard Fournette's going to the Chargers team. Let's look at some teams here. So the McCaffrey, Pollard, Taylor team went Judy, Kittle, Addison, Waller, Jameson Williams. See, this is not the type of team I would put Jameson Williams on personally. Anthony Richardson, they do go back to 3 wide receivers with Rondell Moore, Jacoby Myers, MVS. Then they double tap Stafford and Purdy. Purdy does stack with Kittle. They have an Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor stack. Do they have Cooper Kupp? They do not. And they are currently got unstacked Matthew Stafford. And they grab a third tight end with Luke Musgrave after getting Kittle Waller. So it's not a good build overall, in my personal opinion. Let's take a look at this other 3 RB team. The one that started Bijan, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall. They go DJ Moore, Drake London, Mike Evans. Seems good. Then they go Evan Ingram, Dak Prescott, David Montgomery, AJ Dillon, Jared Goff, Rashee Rice. So they come back to wideout. Then they detour again for Mostert and Sam Laporta. Come back to Josh Downs and then grab Zach Ertz and Desmond Ridder. Just not a team that I would have built. God, what a start, though. Like, these first 6 picks, I think you could have built a real electric team with this one. I think this is just the trap that everyone that starts these 3 RBs gets into. They don't know how to steady the plane and then land it. They get a hot takeoff, they hit some turbulence, and then they kind of crash land a lot of the time. So I'm starting to think that I am occasionally going to be doing some of these 3 elite running back builds and feeling good about it based on knowing how to draft them, or what I personally think is the way to draft them, specifically on DraftKings. And I might even do it on Underdog somewhat too. It might make sense on Underdog as well. Wide receivers are a little bit more of a premium, a little bit tougher to do there, a little bit tougher to get the right build around it. But imagine the team we would have built here with this Robinson, Henry, Breece Hall team. I just think that we would have built a hell of a team. And if we're going like super nuts on this, right? I would have been Eckler. I would have been probably Jonathan Taylor. And then grabbing Breece Hall. Let's say all these other running backs are gone. So it would have been Eckler, Taylor, Hall for me personally. But the players are irrelevant. It's the build. So I think I'd like to be able to do one on stream. I'm not going to force it. If it makes sense to do it, we'll do it. Like, we would not have done it from the one spot, obviously, but we get one of these middle positions, 107, 108. 106 or 107 specifically feels like a real good spot to do it from. If we wanted to flip the build, doing it from the 3 would also work, right? You do the McCaffrey, Pollard, Taylor. And if you were really willing to sacrifice one of these 1 or 2 spots with Jefferson or Chase, doing it from there. But I think you can get pretty much the same construction from the 3 spot with a McCaffrey build. So I don't think you're flipping a ton, because I think the McCaffrey drafter from the 102 would relatively be going with another running back most of the time. So I don't think it makes a ton of sense to do it there, if that makes sense. So things we're thinking through, right? Just things we're thinking through in the middle of June, getting into the main portion of the season, of drafting season. Middle of June, July is coming. People are going to be coming in to do some drafts in July. We're running white hot through August. That last push in September, it's going quick. Got to start getting your teams in. Got to start getting those teams in. I've done pretty well on DK. I'm making a push to get to 50 relatively soon. All right, let's look at our running backs here. Let's grab CEH. Let's grab Noah Fant as well. So we'll start with CEH. I just want to see my playoff build here. Yeah, I'm gonna grab Noah Fant just for the week 17 stuff there. Get another playoff correlation. Puts us up to 5 games that we have some sort of at least one-off with. We're going to be wrapping up this DK draft in a second. 2 drafts to start off these pop-up drafts. A full 2-hour stream, it looks like. Probably won't be 2 most of the time. Probably be a single thing. But a good time nonetheless. So expect to see maybe one of these a week or so. Especially, again, yesterday's situation is the perfect ones for these, right? That golden draft pops up. We hop in, we grab that. I think some of the stuff that takes a little bit longer to fill, if we wanted to do a single entry or a 3 max that takes a little bit to fill, once that gets going, we can just do these pop-ups. Sometimes with multiple people, sometimes just myself, sometimes someone else. It'll be a good time. Do see quite a few people starting to go on auto draft. We've got 1 pick left in our 2782 build. I think we're going to want to just grab 1 more tight end here. Just doing some scrolling on the tight ends. If there's anything we've been missing throughout the season. Does not seem like it, does it? Feels like Brevin Jordan's been on the Houston Texans for 100 years, doesn't it? We're just going to end with this song because it's nice and smooth. We are in the last round now. I think I have a lot more things to stream tonight too. Some not live though. I need to hit up the thumbnail guy. Shout out to Blundell. So Jay went with a 4-6-6-3 build. He's got one pick left. 4 quarterbacks are Dak, Goff, Ritter, Baker. Ends it with doing a 4-6-7-3 build. Would that Bijan, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall start? Just doesn't feel very good. Personally, don't care for that. See if anything else stands out here. Got a 4 tight end build down towards the back here. It's Kincaid, not Tyreek Hill, Taysom Hill, Isaiah Likely, Cade Otton. I think if you're going to do a 4 tight end build, that's a good 4 tight end set. All right, we are back in the clock in a second here. And I think we're just going to grab Hunter Henry. I think he's the best player available on the board. Get our 3rd tight end. No week 17 correlation, but there is a week 15 and 16 correlation. And that's going to do it. And we are going to read off our team here. So we have Justin Herbert, Rashad White, Isaiah Pacheco, Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, Chris Olave, Gerald Everett, Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson, Zay Flowers, Kendre Miller, Derek Carr, Jalen Warren, Marvin Mims Jr., Jaden Reed, Jeff Wilson Jr., Leonard Fournette, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Noah Fant, and Hunter Henry. TV is freaking out, and I guess that means that it's time to go. It's been 2 hours. So thanks for joining us on one of these pop-up drops. We'll be doing more of these in the future. And we'll catch you later. Peace. Woo! Those were some spicy takes. Want to stay up to date with all of the other spicy takes we're going to have over here at Spike Week? Why don't you press that subscribe button below? You turn notifications on, we draft a team, boom, you know about it. We have another spicy take, boom, you know about it. You can be there. You can draft with us. You want to stay up to date? That's how you do it. All right, we'll catch you later next time here at Spike Week.